Welcome back. October is National Fire Safety Month, a topic that is very important in protecting our families. A fire, as we know, can be very devastating.
So, National Family Safety expert Alison Jacobson, also known as Safety Mom, is here to talk to us about how to be prepared. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. And you know, it's Fire Safety Month, but we're really talking about all sorts of natural disasters. And just, you know, I want to say my heart goes out to everybody in Florida right now. And a natural disaster can affect anyone in any area of the country.
Oh yeah, definitely. And when I saw you were coming on, first thing I thought about was my mom had put together a fire plan when we were kids.
Right.
This is the perfect time to talk about that and fire safety in the home. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Exactly. Well, you know, Cox Communications did a study, and 65% of us actually have a plan, but less than half of us actually practice it. So it's great. I mean, my kids have a plan and we all do it, but how many times do we actually go through it? So one of the things I'm talking about with Home Life is it allows us to create an entire plan and manage our home in the event of any sort of natural disaster emergency. Because what we can do is get alerts. So say we're not home, say there's a flood in our home, say there's a fire, we can actually through Home Life get a text saying there's danger going on in your home. So you can know exactly what's going on. Now, the other thing to think about is if you're not home, and so in my case, I have a 14 and a 10-year-old, make sure you get your older kids involved in that evacuation plan so that they know what to do with the little ones. Most importantly, make sure that there's like a common meeting place outside of your home, so maybe it's your next door neighbor, but let them in on it. Let them get into the practice with you. Say, hey, I'm going to do a plan, I'm going to do a lockdown drill, I'm going to do an evacuation drill. You know, I want to practice this with my kids. So super important. But that's what I like about Cox Homelife. I can manage all of this from just the touch of a button on my screen, on my touchpad, on my phone, and it's an app I put on so I can say, you know, turn up or down the heat. Let me check with constant video monitoring what's going on in my home too. So I know everything that's going on.
Peace of mind.
It is peace of mind.
It really is. And you know, you've been on with us before, and we've talked about Home Life and all the different features. And I think a lot of people maybe when they first hear about it think just home security.
Exactly.
And they're thinking, you know, I'm keeping out the burglars and I'm keeping that.
Or those clowns.
Or the clowns. Or the clowns.
Yeah.
So I think that they don't kind of dive a little bit deeper to see how this really becomes a safety feature.
Exactly. I mean, it's more than just security. It's really managing your entire home, Home Life. So it is the fire situation, but it's also flood. Yeah. So when you're thinking about in your washroom, oh my gosh, you know, I've come home and I've had a flood in my basement. So it's all of those things that we can manage, and it can save money. Because in those times where, you know, you go to work, I live in Connecticut. Right now it could be 70 in the morning, it could be 30 at night. Right. So if you are wanting to turn down your thermostat, you can do that automatically so you don't have to keep it running all day long. Or if your daughter's going and has her curling iron on, forgets to turn it off, you can actually turn it off to prevent fires. And even not just our kids, but our elderly. Like you were saying with parents, you know, I worry about my mom. How many times does she forget to turn something off? So think about all of those home emergencies, how you can plan for them in the future, have that plan and practice that plan. Super important. Here's the other tip. When you practice a fire plan, do it on your hands and knees because it's the smoke. You can't see when you're getting out, so you need to know how many hands and feet it takes to get to that exit.
Oh, wow. I never thought about doing it like that. Definitely a lot safer. So we're talking about how convenient technology makes it to make your house safer. And obviously, you know, we're talking about making sure that we run through all of these things. Give us some more tips on how this technology makes it safer and what people can actually do.
Well, see, what's nice too is, you know, if we're working moms, we have our kids coming home. I really don't like my kids coming home in the dark. And they're at that age where they're teens and they think they're okay, but still a little worried. So what's nice is make sure that you have lights on outside. Now with Cox, you can have motion detectors that the lights will go on automatically if someone comes in the driveway. You can have cameras on your door because I don't like them answering the door. Right. So through your phone, you can see who's outside your door at home. And you can tell your kids if you want them to answer or not the door. Now, if you're doing renovations in your home and you've got somebody that's coming in and coming out, you can change the codes on the locks. So that you can give them a special code when they're working in your home, and then when they're gone, they won't have that code anymore. So again, you just want to be sure who is getting into your house, how are you managing it, and you can do all of this from an app. And you can also, what's great is Cox will come in, look at your home, see where you spend most of your time, look at those danger areas, and set it up for you, because I'm not a technology girl.
Right. Well, Well, and Alison, so if we love everything that you're talking about, we're now seeing the great benefits of this. What do we need to have in order to be a part of that?
Well, what's great is you can go to cox.com/homelife, get more information. There's an app you can download to check it out before you even get it. And Cox will come in and do it all for you.
Wow.
That makes it very easy.
I was just going to say, it sounds like it makes it just all you do is pick up the phone and get
That
it
is.
taken
And then it's a
care of.
touch of a button when you want to use it. So that's the beauty. It's easy to use, because when it's not easy to use, we're going to forget about it.
I also think it's really hard to get through to people peace of mind.
Yeah.
You know, the peace of mind of knowing the kids are coming home safe, that you can see who's at the door when they're getting ready to answer.
Right.
So,
Well, and also think about this. I mean, I hate to say it, but, you know, in Connecticut, we have a lot of people who have summer homes or winter homes in Florida who aren't there. If they have home life, they can actually see what's going on in their home down there.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Alison, for coming on the
Yes,
show,
thank
informing all
you.
of us. Great information. To learn more about what we just covered, log on to cox.com/homelife.